guys how to scale your business, in 2024. So you guys are actually figuring out how to build your business credit. And yes, you can do it with no personal guarantee, but I don't want you guys using bad credit as an excuse. Okay. So let's get that straight first. So let's talk about personal credit just for a second. So a lot of people have beliefs about business credit that may not always be true. So first thing I want to tell you guys, you got to have good personal credit if you want to maximize this.
Yes.
If you really want to maximize business credit, do not sleep on your personal credit. And look, in 2024, we are not using bad credit as an excuse, guys.
No excuse at all.
Yep.
So Marvin and I are going to give you, we're going to get rid of some of these myths about what goes on in the banking industry. Trust me, we've been doing this a long time. So we are experts. So we are able to speak on this because, let me go ahead and be real with you guys. We've been through all the walks of life. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've lost businesses. I've lost cars.
Right.
I lost my house.
Houses. Yeah.
So I know what it's like, and you don't have to stay stuck.
Right.
I'm going to give you guys a good example. Like I was just talking to one of my girlfriends and she's going through, a hard time right now, but her mindset is so on point until she's not going to let nothing break her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can you, just think about for just a moment, if your source of income
gets cut. Yeah.
It gets cut. We were talking to a gentleman today where he said he lost his job.
Yeah.
So what do? You have to always be in the position to reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you have something going that's successful,
right?
How do you continue to reinvent
yourself?
And that's really important, Marvin.
And in business, sometimes you have to pivot. So let's get into business credit and how to build it fast. So first of all, I talked to a guy today that was a sole proprietor. I want to let you guys know that's not a business. Being a sole proprietor
not at all.
Is not a business. You know why? Because you lose so much structure, you lose protection, you increase your liability. So when we're talking about business credit, number one, you need to set up a business. Either set up a C Corp, S Corp, or a LLC. You can do that by going to the Secretary of State in your state. So wherever you're located, go to the Secretary of State and set up a LLC, a C Corp, or a S Corp. That's the first thing.
Most definitely.
After you get that set up, and let's talk about setting it up. So say you got your home address, or you may have a virtual address. Most people start out by setting up their home address. You can always go back to the Secretary of State and change it, right?
Yeah, you can. But I would recommend just going ahead and setting everything up because once you do that, you have to pay to go to the Secretary of State and reach to change it.
Right.
And you really need, and let me say this, a lot of businesses fail. You need to go to the IRS.
Yeah.
And change your EIN number when you do a change of address. And a lot of
change your address.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you change your address.
Yeah, you say update it on your EIN.
You need to update it on your EIN. And we fail on that a lot. And sometimes when you go for funding, they want your EIN number, they want the letter, and they want the letter, the address to match.
Yeah, you want everything to be the same.
I've seen that on so many occasions.
So number one, you set up the LLC or the C Corp at the Secretary of State. Number two, you go to the IRS.gov and you set up an EIN number. All right. Then after that, you're going to get a phone number. Now, one easy way to do it, you can turn your personal cell phone into a business cell phone. So now you got a business line. We're talking how to do this on a small budget.
On a small budget.
Yeah.
Like when Marvin and I, if I call somewhere, it's going to say Cafe Social House.
Right.
When Marvin calls somewhere, it's going to say DKR Group. Because this right here, this is the tax write-off. Why go get something extra when you already have a device in your, in your possession that you can change it over, and it's not costing you any. Like my bill is not extra because I'm a business. I have a business account,
and now you can start your business credit. Because all you got to do is have your EIN number to change your personal cell phone into a business phone. Yes. Now, while we're doing this, guys, get active in the chat. If you guys got questions, throw some questions in the chat as we're going along. So now we got 3 things set up. We got the business set up as an LLC or C corp. We got the EIN number. We got the address, which could be your home address, or later we're going to talk about virtual offices. All right, then you're going to take your personal cell phone and turn it into a business phone. Now let's get a business email.
Oh my God, that right there is really important. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. We fail at that, and we don't need a professional email like gmail.com.
Right.
No, the email needs to have your company name in it. Like, for example, info@Cafe Social House, or Gloria at Cafe Social House. And you can get that. You can either get that when you get your domain
at GoDaddy. Right.
Or you can go to Google. Google will
Google Workspace.
Google Workspace.
Yeah.
It'll let you create a company email address.
And like Gloria said, and realize this, guys, this is something I really had to key in on this year. Your domain doesn't have to match your company name.
Does not.
So we'll get into that a little bit later too. Your domain doesn't have to match your company name. Your company name can be one thing for banking purposes. Then your domain needs to pertain to the service or the product
that you're serving.
Yeah, that you're doing. So don't get confused with your domain and your company name. They don't have to match, but you want your email to have your company name. I would do that, or you could do it as your domain. It's kind of up to you, but I would have a domain that's unique to you, not a Gmail, not a Yahoo, anything like that. So now you got the business set up, you got the EIN number. Now go get a business bank account.
Let's go.
A business bank account. And remember, as you're doing this, you're not setting up a Cash App. You're not going to set up a Venmo or a PayPal. You can do that stuff later. In the beginning, because sometimes bankers, they look at it as your business didn't start until you got a bank account.
Most definitely, because
most bankers look at it.
And let me tell you why. Because you have a bank rating.
Right.
Every last one of us have a bank rating.
Right.
On the personal side and on the business side.
Exactly.
And it's really important to set that bank account so you can start getting your bank rating as high as possible.
Correct. And you want to, like what Gloria is saying, a bank rating or internal banking, they give you a score inside the bank. Yeah. So, you not only have your personal credit score, you got a business credit score, and then you have a banking score. So remember, it's different things that you're judged on. Now, if you want to maximize this, once again, it's best to have good credit. But for anyone that has issues with their credit, I want you guys to type AI in the chat. All right. Type AI in the chat. If you guys don't get a link from me now while we're doing this, you'll get a link once we finish. But type AI in the chat so that you guys will get an AI software that we have that can help you work on your personal credit.
Yes.
We're not using bad credit as an excuse in 2024.
No, Marvin, no more bad credit.
And I don't want you guys just jumping on this live because we say no personal guarantee. I want you jumping on here because you want to work on your whole, credit situation, your personal credit, your business credit. You want to work on all of this. Now, when you go to open up this business bank account, get to know your banker, start a relationship. Now, and I'm going to talk about, just in case they have bad credit, you might want to start a secured account. Okay. You got a secured line of credit. You got a secured account. Check out our other videos on YouTube. We just dropped one. Matter of fact, it was what's today? Today's Tuesday. We dropped one Sunday about Bank of America, and we're talking about secured loans. So if you guys want more information on secured loans, check out our video we dropped on Sunday with Bank of America. I go over a secured line of credit and I go over a secured loan. It's nothing wrong with having that if you have bad credit, because the most important thing with a bank is a relationship.
Most definitely. So when you decide which bank, so if you have bad credit, go ahead and try to get a secured card now. So when you get your credit together, you have time already on some type of card. Correct. That's really important. A lot of times people go to fix their credit, and then when they finish, you don't have any credit. No credit is just like having bad credit nowadays. So it's really important to start building a relationship. Get a secured card. That way you can graduate to being able to apply for a regular card. It's really important. So let's set your foundation up properly now. And when I say set your foundation up, let's go from having good personal credit to building your business credit. And that's how you're going to be very successful in business. And then start getting your capital up. Correct.
And then remember this, we're teaching you guys this because you want to raise money when you don't need it. A lot of people try to raise money when they need it. That's the hardest time to get money, is when you need it. So if you're working with your personal credit and you're working with your business credit, guess what? You can alternate. You could be raising money with one month or 2 months, then you can raise money with the other one. So now you've got the business set up. You've got the bank account set up. Now you're going into, say you got a secured account because you have issues with your credit. Now you're building a relationship. Now, if you got great personal credit, look, power to you, great job. You're going to maximize. So now let's get into building business credit. Now let's talk about the bureaus that you have with business credit. You got Smart Business Reports, which is Experian. Then you have Equifax, just like your personal, but there's an Equifax business.
Excuse me.
Then you have Dun and Bradstreet.
And then you have one more.
Okay. You got the SBFE. And so, you guys learn these bureaus so that you can actually start building credit and you can actually monitor your credit. So, the thing is, you want to go to Smart Business Reports and monitor your credit. Then also you can go to NAV, NAV.com. You can go to NAV.com and you can not only monitor your credit, but you can actually report on your credit. So if you guys are really serious about your credit, you want to monitor your business credit just like you monitor your personal credit. And I'm gonna go to Smart Business Reports here in a little bit, but I want you guys to understand that once you set this up, now imagine you set up a brand new business. You listen to everything we said in the last few minutes. You set up a brand new business. You want to give it time to populate in the bureau. So say it's a brand new business. It may take 30 to 45 days to get it to populate. Then you want to start looking around in your industry and figure out, who can I get a net 30 account with? You want to figure out, who can I get a net 30 account, because that's going to start the business credit. A lot of times people think, well, I'm going to get a secured card or I'm going to get an unsecured card and that's going to start my business credit. It may not do it. Think about it. With your personal credit, you go buy a car, you go buy a house, it's going to show up whether you want it to or not.
That's right.
With business credit, it may or may not show up. It may or may not show up. So you got to put a little bit more legwork in when it comes to actually having business credit. And what I mean by that is, you could go get a telephone with Verizon or with AT&T. Doesn't really mean it's going to show up in 30 days. It may take 60 days or 90 days.
And Marvin, when I first started my first business, I really didn't quite understand business credit. I knew it was business credit. You needed to get business credit, but I didn't really understand really business credit. And this had to be back in 2007. I did raise capital, a little capital to start my business, but I really didn't have a full grasp of what I really was getting into.
Got it.
And it's really important for you to have a mentor or somebody to guide you or show you. I watched a few videos and stuff like that, but it didn't get me over the hump where I needed to go, because if I had a little bit more knowledge on, business credit and how beneficial it was for me, I think I would have did a lot better in my business, because I would have had a little bit more comfort, a little bit cushion there for me.
Right.
I didn't understand business credit, guys, until I met Marvin. Business credit guru. So, it was just like, it was a breath of fresh air.
Right.
When I met you, remember, you were like, don't worry, you'll get it all back.
Yeah.
He poured that into me. And I was just like, huh? Right. He was like, you'll get it all back. And I was like, yeah, right. And I did. And he showed me how important building the business credit was, So when we decided to open our restaurant, I had after I met Marvin, I had my restaurant started doing really, really well.
Right.
They shut down they sold the building.
Right. Yeah.
So that means
the restaurant that was downtown.
We had a restaurant downtown. They shut down the building. So I didn't have a restaurant. So I jumped right into learning business credit, understanding credit repair. I jumped head first, like I was all in. Marvin and I was, he was teaching me so much. It was just like I had went back to school. I mean, I was in Marvin University, y'all. That's where I was at. I was at Marvin's University. So when it came time for I wanted to open another restaurant, probably about 4 years had passed by. About 4 years passed by. And I'm like, Marvin, I want to open a restaurant, another one. He was like, okay, but you're going to use the tools that I taught you.
Right. And then you have to start raising credit, like start raising money with credit. And that means starting relationships.
Most definitely.
So imagine when you open this bank account, now you've started a relationship. And with that relationship, now you start communicating with the banker that you're dealing with, what you're trying to do. And guess what? The banker has products.
Yes.
So,
and Marvin, I actually opened the account 2 years before we actually got the location.
Right.
So when Marvin was saying that you, with your EIN number, just go ahead and put your home address. That's what I did. I had the EIN number. I had the bank account. I had everything set up. The Secretary of State 2 years before we actually got the location, because I did it in 2016.
Right.
And we didn't sign a lease until I think 2018 or something like that.
Right.
So it's really important, like Marvin was saying, get everything set up. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of helped us with time. It gave us a lot of time. And I was able, Marvin, with the skills that he taught me, I was able to raise all the capital that I needed to open our restaurant. And we've been open 6 years now.
And so you have a combination of accounts you can open. So you get your business bank account. Now you're probably thinking, what do I go for first? Do I get a loan?
Yes.
Do I get a line of credit? Do I get a credit card? And you got a fourth option, net 30s.
Yes.
So a net 30 is where it's like a charge card. It's where you can charge something, but then you got 30 days to pay it off. Like some people like it, some people don't. I was in construction. I loved it. Those extra 30 days would give me time to get paid, finish the job first, and then get paid. And I could not only pay everybody else, my workers, the material, I was able to pay myself. So with net 30s, that can help you float and give you time to pay. With banks, okay, let's talk about loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
And let me throw this gem out there too, Marvin. For those of you who are like maybe in the food industry, you can get net 30s too.
Right.
I didn't realize that. And we deal with our vendor Cisco.
Right.
So it's not a net 30, but it's a net 7.
Right.
So they do like net 3, net 7. So I have 7 days to pay for the food. So that means I can make the money,
right,
and then pay our invoice. So there, if you into the if you have a restaurant, then that can work for you as well. So you have to check into who has net 7, who has net 30s in whatever industry you're in, because it can really help you, float your capital with your business.
And those are the accounts that start to report on your business credit. So you got, like Gloria said, you got net 7, like net 14, net 30. net 60, net 55. It depends on the company and their terms, but that's how you start to actually build business credit. Figure out, like Gloria said, the industry that you're in, and hey, what do I have to do to get approved for these accounts? And then how long do I have to pay these accounts back? And then if you talk to them, ask them what bureau do they report to. That's very important, because now you know where to look to see if you have a score. You know, with Dun and Bradstreet, you have to get a number. You have to go to their website. The number is free. You can apply for it, but then you got to wait to get this code in the mail. Once you get in the mail, because they want to verify that you are there and you are a business. You mail it back, they give you the number. But if you set all this up correctly, within 60, 90 days, you should establish a score. And I'm going to show you guys here in a second, you know, how you actually check to see if you have a score, because it's not really hard. The thing is, it gets complicated, you know, when you're talking about business credit. You don't know where to look. And then sometimes you get afraid to ask. And it's okay to ask a question like I want you guys to do tonight. If you guys got questions, throw those questions in the chat and let's talk about it. And remember, we offer you guys a free business strategy call. You can set up a call with Glory now. We have a mentorship where we've helped hundreds, maybe close to thousands of businesses raise capital. And we want you guys to raise as much capital as you can, but we want to show you all the small things that can throw you off when it comes to raising capital, because it's not the big things. Everybody knows you got to go to the bank. Sometimes what happens, you don't know what product to go for. And let's talk about that one quick second, because you got a loan, you got a line of credit, you got a credit card. Banks really want to give you loans because they make money as soon as they deposit the money in your account. They start making money.
Right. And they don't, you know, a lot of people want lines of credit. We do this all the time. But lines of credit has a higher threshold for you to get approved for it, because they're not making money. The banks are not making money.
Because you can pay it off.
Because you can let that line of credit sit there and not use it. The bank is not going to make money until you actually use the funds.
Right.
So that's why it's a higher threshold for you to get approved for a line of credit versus getting approved for a loan. As soon as you sign the docs for that loan, it's compounding interest right away.
And then credit cards will be easier to get. But like Gloria said, the line of credit, that's going to be the hardest one to get. But if you got a great credit score, hey, it won't be that bad. So I want to show you guys something right quick. I want to share screens with you. Make sure y'all tell me if y'all can see the screen. Somebody comment, yes, you can see the screen. All right. This is where you go to Smart Business Reports. Now what you do is you put the name of your company in. I'm just going to put something in. You put the name of your company in.
I'm sorry, TikTok. You got to follow us on YouTube.
And you put the state. And then guess what? It's going to tell you whether or not your company has trade lines or not. So if you guys want to know, how do I check to see if I got business credit? To me, Experian is one of the easiest ones to check. You pull it up, you put your company name in, and then you can proceed to buy the report and or monitor your credit. So if it's something you want to do, you guys need to pull up Smart Business Reports. It's an easy way to see if you know, you need to, what's on your business credit. Do you actually have trade lines that report or not? And then I'm going to show you guys one other website that's super good when it comes to
reporting your trade lines.
Yeah, reporting your trade lines. Because like we said, you know, you have times where just because it's business credit doesn't mean they're going to report it on your credit.
Most
definitely. You know, you always want to check on it and monitor it more than anything.
Yeah. And the wonderful thing about it is when you sign up for what Marvin is going to show you right now, it's called eCredible. To help you report on your business credit, because sometimes it doesn't populate for you. You know, and like you can get a Dun and Brad's number and you can pay Dun and Brad's and you could try to put it in there.
Fast track it.
And sometimes it just doesn't work. Trust me, we tried it. You know, years ago, we tried it, we paid for it, and it still didn't report.
Right.
So this is a better way. It's called eCredible.
Yeah,
for my TikTokers that you can't see the screen. It's called eCredible.
Right.
And you put it'll report for you.
Yep. You turn bills into business credit. Literally. Yeah. It could be your utility bill. It could be your rent. And then, like I said, they also report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Credit Safe, and Experian.
Amazing.
And so, let me back up. If you guys don't know what a good credit score is, and make sure y'all share this video. You don't need this video. Share this video with like three other people.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what a good score is, with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Credit Safe is 0 to 100. Anything over 80 is an excellent credit score.
Yes.
Now, Equifax has a different threshold, and what I'm getting at is you want to make sure that score is high as it can possibly be. With Equifax, it goes from 300 to 800. Anything over a 621 is good. And you can report things with eCredible like power, water, gas, mobile phone, TV services, internet, landline, business rent or lease, virtual office, suppliers. I mean, the list goes on. Accounting, marketing, web technologies, all of this. So if you guys really want something to help you with your business credit, if you're stuck, go check out eCredible.
Most definitely.
It is definitely a good way to build your business credit and, be able to show those bills that can actually help you out, because that's what it's all about, being able to show the bills so it can help you out and you can build business credit.
Do you guys feel like you're getting a lot of good value?
That's right. Put some flames in the chat.
Flames in the chat.
If y'all feel y'all love this, put some flames in the chat. Let us know, because we just dropped some sauce on y'all. That's really a way to hurry up and build your business credit. And then after that, the main thing that Gloria and I teach in our mentorship is we want to show you guys how to continually raise money.
How to empower your finances, and grow your business. The first thing about scaling your business, Marvin, is it takes money to make money.
Right.
So we're going to show you how to get to the check.
Right.
That's so important, and show you how to get yourself set up properly.
Right.
So that, for example, in our mentorship this week, on tomorrow is one of our calls with our mentees. We're going to be talking about, we're bringing on a very, very great accountant.
Right.
He's going to be asking questions. He's going to be making sure you have your business set up properly.
Right.
This is a part of the mentorship that we, that Marvin and I offer, is we want you to succeed.
Right.
And there's so many layers to this and so many things that you may not know.
Right.
And I'm not an accountant.
Right.
But we're going to bring an accountant on.
We're going to bring the team on.
Exactly. And we're going to continue to bring different people on that are professionals that can help our mentees scale their business. Yeah. So they'll be able to have a list of questions.
Correct.
And he's going to be able to answer them. If you need, if they need an accountant,
Correct.
They'll be able to hire him, and it won't be, so a ridiculous price.
Right.
And we vetted him.
Right.
So anyone that we bring on our platform has already been vetted, and they're going to help you scale, and they're going to help you grow, and they're going to help you win. And that's what it's about for us.
And if you're realistically trying to raise 100, 150,000, now think about this. You can do this with a combination of vendor credit. You got gas cards in case you're in the transportation industry.
Yeah.
You got credit cards, you got loans, you got lines of credit. But now it's sitting down, putting a plan together. Some of you guys may need a business plan.
Yeah.
In our mentorship, we go over things like your business plan. We actually, one of the first things Gloria and I do when you come into our mentorship is we need to know what your goals are.
Most definitely.
Because if we don't know what your goals are, then nobody knows where we're going.
So the first thing we do is we do an hour strategy call with you. So we can go over and map out, what are your plans? Where are you trying to go? We need to create a roadmap for each and every one of our mentees.
Correct.
So that we can have a direction. How many people use their GPS to get to where they're trying to go?
Just about everybody.
Right. I use GPS to this day.
Right.
We got GPS on today, actually.
Right.
So GPS helps you get to where you're trying to go, the final destination.
Correct.
So that's what Marvin and I do. We help you, map out. We show you how to get there, based off of what you tell us. And then we can give you some sound advice on, okay, this is the direction this way may be a lot longer than this way right here. We go shortcut you.
Right.
So it's really important to have someone in your life to give you those tools.
Exactly. And then realize, guys, we want you to keep raising capital. As we all know, during COVID, everybody was scrambling trying to get to the SBA.
Yes.
The SBA has been around forever.
Yeah.
But nobody thought about it until it was a state of emergency.
Yeah.
And everybody needed money because most businesses had to shut down.
But let me say this. The SBA was one of the hardest loans that you can get.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID. Okay, so they really lowered a lot of their criteria for you, for people to be able to get in and be able to get the funding that they needed. But let me tell you this. Since then, there are so many funding outlets out there that a lot of us just don't know about.
Exactly.
And we can help you get to where you're trying to go. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, when I tell you, Marvin and I have so many lenders.
So many lenders.
Just about that can fit just about
any business.
Just about any business or any situation.
Yeah.
So, you need to have a business. You need to have a legitimate business.
Correct.
First of all, let me say that. And you need to let us know how we can help you, because we can most definitely help you get to the bag. Like, I'm telling you, we've been studying so hard and we have so many lenders. Mark, if I would have access to this probably 6 years ago, baby, it would be, it'll be something, it'll be on, okay? I probably wouldn't even be on here talking to y'all right now. I'd be like, woo, I'm retired.
And think about it. It's all about knowing the programs of the lenders.
Yeah.
And that's how I got started in this. Years ago, I had lost my business. And then I was talking to my banker asking us, well, how did I get this loan? Or how did I get that loan? Because I didn't really understand it. I just told her what I wanted. She looked at my cash flow. I was able to get it. But to sit back and understand it now, Gloria and I can help, like she said, just about any business.
Yeah.
Because we understand what it takes to get these products. And that's what we call them. That's what the bank calls them.
Yeah.
They're products. Every product is not meant for every business. So sometimes net 30s can really help you. Like, we can talk about Uline. We can talk about Granger if you're in construction. We could even talk about Amazon, actually. Amazon is one of those companies that I think that 90% of us on this live probably use.
And guess what? They have a net 55 and a net 30.
Exactly.
A net 55, Amazon.
Exactly. So you might be able to use it. And look, here's one of our testimonies when we did credit repair full time. He says, you guys helped me and my wife build our credit to buy a house. We have a beautiful home now that we've been in for 3 years now. Our next step is to start our business.
Yes.
All right, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, thanks, Victor.
That's
man.
amazing.
Yep, congratulations. And we can help you with a startup business. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Victor.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they can't get any money because they're a startup. But if you have great personal credit,
we got you.
We got you.
We got you.
That's how you'll get started. And, we got to ask you more questions, of course. But my point is, having a great personal credit score will fast track you.
It opens so many doors for you. I promise you.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Thank you for I just love when I tell y'all, I love when we start talking about credit.
And I love these testimonies.
Yeah, about scaling people, because that's what it's about for us to help people empower their finances. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I lost so many things because I just didn't have the knowledge. I had a vision.
Yeah.
I had a dream. I knew that God put it in me to be an entrepreneur. He told me, he was like, this is the road that you're supposed to go on. God put me on that path. I knew it. It was in my soul.
Right.
But I just didn't have the right people telling me or guiding me.
Yeah. And it happens.
I really thought, like, I'm just so blessed and thankful that I met my husband.
And
that was all God.
We're a
you
great
know what I'm
team.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, we came together and we want to pour into you guys. We want to empower your finances. That's why we get on here.
Yeah.
This is free game for you guys. We jump on here and give you free information. We have so much information, that I just want to pour it out into you guys, because Marvin, when I first started my business, I wish I had this. I lost so many things because I didn't have someone telling me, someone guiding me, someone giving me information.
Yeah. And it's hard because what happens with business owners, we're usually great at whatever product or service that we deliver or service that we do, but we're bad managers, bad CEOs, bad CFOs. And what I mean by that, first of all, most business owners that we see today and that we mentor, not saying all of them, but some of them, they commingle funds. Like I asked the guy today, I said, how much do you pay yourself? He was like, well, I pay myself, but I don't. I'm like, wait a minute. You either pay yourself or you don't get no check. And we always pay everybody first
before we pay
ourselves. You got in business to pay yourself first.
They come second.
Second.
And like Marvin, let me tell you something. We program ourselves, because I did this, and I end up losing my shirt off my back. And what I mean by that is I lost my house and my car.
Right.
Okay. Coming from corporate America, it was so hard for me I didn't pay myself. You know what I kept telling myself? I kept saying, you know what? This is a cash business.
Right.
I'll pay it next week.
Right.
I'll pay my bill next week.
Right.
And every week another bill
something
for the restaurant came up. Something else came up. And I'll be like, oh my God, I gotta pay this, because if I don't pay this, then I ain't gonna be able to pay my mortgage. Well, you wasn't able to pay your mortgage anyway. And you wasn't paying that anyway, because you was too busy still. Something keep coming up and you keep paying that. No, put you first
and write yourself a paycheck. Because one of the things, if you start off with bad habits, you're going to keep them up.
Yes.
Because the first thing the bank is going to want is pay stubs, bank statements, and taxes. We all know this, right? Yes. Everybody on this call, if y'all know this, put flames in the chat. You know this is going to happen. So why are we not preparing? Why are we not putting these things in place so that when they want this, and here's the biggest one, because it's this time of the year. You know what most people do? They write off everything.
Yes.
I talked to a guy. I know this guy make $200,000 or $300,000 a year. And guess what he does every year? He writes it off to where he only makes about $40,000 a year. What can you buy with $40,000 a year? Can y'all keep it real? Put something in the chat. What can you buy if you write everything off? And I know what it is. You don't want to pay taxes.
But guess what? If you get yourself in position, it allows you to go to the bank and get anything you want.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, you can go, here's my documentation right here.
Right.
You can give them the documentation that is needed in order for you to get the money that you need. Would you, just a typical question. Marvin asked me this a long time ago. That was a very profound statement.
Right.
Would you pay $40,000 to have access to 1.5 million?
Right.
Would you pay that?
Right. I would. I'm paying it. Anybody else that answers slow, something is wrong. What that means is you should actually pay your taxes so you can borrow more money. That's what it's all about. Pay your taxes so you can borrow more money. If you don't pay taxes, you're not going to borrow money. Why do you think when you have a job that you can borrow money to buy a house, you can borrow money to get a car, but all of a sudden we work for ourselves, we want to stop paying the most important person?
Let me say this, Marvin.
Let me let my chair up.
You guys want to make money, right? You want to live like you have money, right? You want to live like rich people. You do what rich people do.
Right.
You want to know what rich people do? They live like they're poor. You know what poor people do? They live like they rich.
They balling. I want a Lamborghini. I want this. I want that. And when you think about it, you're buying things that depreciate. And I'm not saying don't buy yourself nothing nice. I'm not saying that. But you have to watch some of the things that you buy and think about, what if I save that money? Because it's not about what you can buy. It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep. And I'm not saying don't do anything nice for yourself. yes, everybody wants nice things, but think about it. And then you don't have to keep them forever.
And then that's the other thing. If you're going to buy nice things, it's okay. But buy things that
appreciate
and don't depreciate.
Correct.
Let me tell you something. During the pandemic, Marvin purchased a couple of AP watches. Okay.
Right.
He had 2 APs. He wanted an AP. So he went ahead and bought 2 APs, right? Because Marvin, let me tell y'all something. Marvin is really big on getting an expert to help him. Like, we don't just talk about, I'm sorry, y'all. My allergies have been on fleek. But we don't just talk about, we want you in our mentorship. We also get in mentorships.
Correct.
Let me say that again. We pay to get in mentorships to learn.
Correct.
You got to get in the room. You can't just think, oh, I'm going to just go to the internet and figure everything out. The internet is not going to tell you everything.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So we pay to get in mentorships. So Marvin was in a watch mentorship. And I'm like, why would you get in that? He was like, because they're going to teach me how to buy expensive watches. I'm not going to just go out and I go out and buy a watch and somebody, it ain't worth anything. I'm not going to do that. I got to know the things to look for.
Correct.
I'm buying time pieces. That's what they call them. They're not a watch. It's a timepiece.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm going to learn about this. And I'm like, huh?
Yes.
You going to
learn. Because you made one mistake.
You're going to pay all this money for to learn about the time. Yes. So he bought 2 watches, 2 AP watches now. Okay. One of them he paid like 20 some thousand, right?
Right.
The other one, we had to fly to Florida to get the watch. Okay. Right. So we go to Florida, we meet the guy with a jeweler. Now these are used timepieces. Right. They weren't brand new.
Right.
He paid, I think, he got the guy down to like 15,000, right? Marvin was able to sell both of those timepieces after he done wore them for a couple of years, probably 3 years.
Right.
Flat looking good, balling out of control. Let me tell y'all something. Marvin made at least probably about $3,000 to $5,000 off of each one of those watches.
Yeah.
After he wore it for 3 years. Okay.
But that's having a mentor.
That's having a mentor, and that's buying right.
Yeah. And you guys can do the same thing with your businesses.
Yes.
Don't spend all the money. And if you do spend the money, that was kind of like a business asset, because everywhere I went in a meeting, somebody would ask me, what type of watch is that? What type of timepiece is that? So even though it was kind of a personal thing I wanted, it helped me out in business as well. And you guys can use your businesses to help you do things like this. Now YouTubers are using cars in their videos and they get to write it off. They're using all these type of things. And speaking of cars, if you guys want to know how to refinance your personal car into your business, check out the live we had last week on YouTube. And if you guys are not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe to Marvin and Gloria Smith on YouTube. We're always going to be coming on here every Tuesday talking about something different when it comes to finance. Last couple videos were about auto loans and refinancing them, and then how to do it no PG. And so with no PG, let me explain this just in case I want you guys to understand. You can use your EIN number instead of your social. I'm gonna tell you a lesson that one of my mentors taught me. What he taught me was, when you look at the applications, look for the little asterisk, the little asterisk mark. A lot of times by the social, they don't have it. But if they do, don't worry about it, because MasterCard and Visa, when you graduate to those cards, MasterCard and Visa, like right now, Sam's Club has a card that you can get with no PG, with no personal guarantee, just for those who don't understand what that means. And what I want you guys to realize is, use your EIN, but sometimes you may have to put your social on it because it's federal law with the Patriot Act. They have to associate a social with the business. It doesn't mean they're using your personal credit.
Right.
Yeah, and it won't.
They just have to, and what that means is they have to verify you.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And like Victor says, business terminology is what you can learn from mentoring. It's like a word of mouth culture. And he's right. It's so many different terms and different words in there that you would have to learn. But the biggest difference is, you know, you got to do a little extra work when it comes to business credit. And then you got to ask questions. You know, one thing I found out, a lot of people would not ask the right questions. Talk to the banker, talk to the vendor. Before you even sign the application, ask them, hey,
it's you know not because you ask not.
Yeah, exactly. Which bureau do you report to?
Most definitely.
You know, now that you guys know the bureaus, we taught y'all the bureaus tonight. You know, some of the bureaus. I mean, you got Dun and Bradstreet, you got Experian or Smart Business Reports, you got Equifax, you got Credit Safe, you got SBFE. You have all these bureaus for business. Now what you guys need to do is figure out which vendor accounts, the net 30s, net 7s, net 60s, whatever is good for your business, and realize, yeah, it's not a Visa or a MasterCard, but you'll graduate to that.
Most definitely.
You know, you'll graduate to the point where you can use your net 30s to help you graduate to a credit card, MasterCard or Visa that you can use that won't report on your personal credit. So I think that was awesome.
And we're going to have a video dropping probably is it next week or is it this week? That's going to be telling you about a MasterCard.
Yeah.
A MasterCard.
A fleet card.
A fleet MasterCard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, when I say fleet, it's a gas card, but it's a MasterCard and you can use it
anywhere. Yeah.
And guess what? It's no personal guarantor.
Exactly.
No credit check.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all want to check out our YouTube channel because I'm telling you, we're going to be dropping so many gems. Like, like when I tell y'all we're in the lab studying every single day.
Exactly.
We're recording, we're dropping. We want to empower you guys. That's what our channel is all about.
Exactly.
Empower your finances because we walk that walk.
Yeah.
You know, we don't lost some things. So we're not just speaking just to be speaking.
Right.
We're speaking because guess what? Marvin and Gloria, Marvin used to flip houses.
Right.
Marvin flipped over 200 and something houses, y'all.
Exactly.
Marvin had lines of credit at the bank. You know, I'm going to tell y'all, real estate lines of credit.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a difference. You know.
Well, he could just go to the courthouse and be like, all right, give me that house right there.
Right.
I'm telling you. So we're speaking from personal experience. Gloria has had 3 restaurants.
Right. So you got somebody with a lot of restaurant experience.
I have a lot of restaurant experience. We are in our 6th year at our restaurant right now.
Yeah.
So trust me, we know this.
Yeah.
We're not just talking. We walk that walk. We know this information. So you want to tap in. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out because why make mistakes when you have 2 people right here that can help you not make them.
And don't let bad credit be an excuse in 2024.
No.
I'm telling y'all right now, type AI in the chat. If you guys need help with your personal credit, we got an AI system that will help you wipe everything off your credit. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see Matt Barnes, the guy that has the podcast, All the Smoke, you know, giving us a testimony and a shout out saying it actually helped him with some small things he had on his personal credit.
Yeah.
So don't let bad credit be an excuse. Look, go after no PG, but also have good credit.
And then the other thing about it is, Marvin, it's only $39.
Correct.
And if you're on our YouTube, you need to check out the video. We have a video that's explaining
about
to you about the AI. And if you type AI and you get the link, there's tutorials in there that will tell you all about it.
Correct.
And I'm gonna tell you, it'll take you 10 minutes a month.
Yeah.
15 times.
Yeah,
to
15.
Fix your own
I think that's the longest.
$39. Like.
Yeah, $39.95 to work on your credit.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. It tells you the suggested reason based on thousands or maybe even millions of past deletions. So all you got to do is sign up at luxurycredithacks.com. Takes about 15 minutes to fill out.
Yeah.
And guess what? All you got to do, it delivers the letters straight to your email. You don't have to type them up.
You don't have to do
anything. All you got to do is put them in the mail. It's gone. So if anybody needs help with their personal credit, type AI in the chat. We'll definitely help you with that. And we'll help you guys get to the next level because that's what it's all about. And if anybody has typed AI in the chat, I'm going to make sure I put the website because sometimes after the live post, you can't see it. but I want everybody to leave comments. Gloria and I, even after the live has posted, we will make sure we get back with you guys. We'll communicate with you guys, because that's what we want to do. Like Gloria said, we want to empower you guys. And if you need to follow us because you want to contact us, go to our Instagrams. I'm going to throw them up here in a second. I'm Marvin, Money Marv, the mentor. I got it going across the bottom. So if you need our other social medias, you can follow us on TikTok. You can follow us on Instagram. Yes. Gloria is Gloria_the coach. I'm Money Marv, the mentor. And I want you guys to stay empowered. If you need us, sign up for a free business strategy call. If you're starting a business, or if you want to learn the art of raising capital, sign up for that, guys. And you know what? If you guys are looking to learn how to build more business credit, I want y'all to check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube. And other than that, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.